Now let's get talking now. Joining me to discuss the economic impacts of insurance companies in Nigeria is Dr. Olushola Oluyeye. He has almost 2 decades financial services experience, energy and consulting industry, which gained from diverse industry in sub-Saharan Africa. Now he's the executive chairman, LIB Insurance Brokers Limited, based in Lagos. Now, thank you for joining us on the program today, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Frank. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you again. So, just before we get started and looking at the impact or economic impact of insurance on the economy, I want us to start from this, cheering news that the insurance sector, as of today, total asset is about 2.3 trillion naira. I mean, how did you receive that news? This is huge and massive when you look at the fact that there has been a kind of apathy towards insurance policy in the past year.
It's a positive news, and we are very glad to acknowledge that we are experiencing good traction from the insurance sector. However, compared to what is happening all over the world globally, we are still far away from where we should be. Currently now, the penetration is still less than 1% compared to other nations, including countries like South Africa, leading insurance in Africa.
Going by data from the National Bureau of Statistics, the sector accounted for about 12.45% of the financial sector in the first quarter of 2021, with no fewer than 16 companies which had paid about total claim of 67.12 billion naira. Let's get started this way. What is your assessment of this steady growth witnessed over the period?
Okay, thank you very much. Considering the steady growth that we are experiencing in the insurance sector is attributed to quite a lot of factors. A whole lot of knowledge is being passed in the process, a lot of awareness, and with the recapitalization, there has been more advocacy for insurance across different sectors of the economy. The regulation has really helped for us to be able to experience this type of increase. Beyond that, let's also take a look at how the COVID impacted a lot of companies, and now they know why there must be a provision more to protect any unforeseen circumstances and being able to take more calculated risk by making sure that there's adequate protection in place to be able to take care of this kind of incident. And as the economy are picking up, post-COVID, we are seeing quite a lot of response in a positive note on the insurance sector.
If you look at the total industry asset, that's about 2.3 trillion naira. Now, the non-life, business, or the non-life, business is around 1.1%, while life business is more than 1 trillion naira. Beg your pardon, 1.1 trillion naira for the non-life, policy, and of course the life business is about more than 1 trillion naira. Now, what would you consider as the major driver of this growth, especially in the last 9 months?
Okay, if you can hear me, that is very good. Our industry is taking a very good move and a positive move. Knowing fully well that the way the trend is globally, life businesses usually attract more than the non-life wealth business, and you can see that the Nigerian market is following the same trend. Now, two, the major key thing we need to also note is that technology is one of the major drivers, and with the recapitalization, quite a lot of insurance companies has been able to now invest more into technology. And the reach of insurance now has become much more wider, and insurance has been able to reach out to a whole lot of individuals, even at micro level, taking up on life policy, even as low as 5,000 naira life policy. Some people are taking on 10,000, some on 20,000, based on what your capacity can take. And beyond that, we've also been able to get people that are into organized groups, association of apprentices, association of tradesmen, a whole lot of cooperatives have been able to come on board, including associations taking over, taking up insurance policies to be able to create a life policy to help the members.
Aside from the collaborations, investment, and of course in the initiative that has been going on in the sector, I need you to speak to the issue of reforms in the sector as well. And if you recall, in 2019, NAICOM came up with that capital-based reform for operators in the economy. Talk to us about that one. I mean, how significantly has that impacted the sector?
If you consider the recapitalization is long awaited, recapitalization moved by the regulator, it came at a time whereby the insurance industry was almost losing out almost major businesses to foreign underwriters, whereby if you look at some sectors like aviation, like oil and gas, majority of the business have to be placed outside Nigeria because most insurance company in Nigeria does not have the capital base to be able to underwrite most of this policy. You can imagine, let me give you an example. If you are going to do an aviation insurance to cover an aircraft, looking at the worth of a single aircraft, you will need nothing less than 20-30 insurance companies in Nigeria coming together before they can underwrite maybe 30 or maybe less than 30% of that policy. 60 to 70 will be underwritten outside the country. But with this recapitalization, we've been able to retain more of the world underwriting business locally here in Nigeria, which gives more opportunity to the players locally, and it has created more jobs, and it has created more avenue to be able to use technology to drive insurance business across Nigeria.
Just permit me to come in here. I know you talk about the fact that most of the local company or the domestic players really didn't have much of funds to to really cough out that 8 billion for local players, and then of course in insurance providers and all of that to the composite insurers as well. I mean, let's look at that. How did that happen? Was there a collaboration? Did it raise fund? Did we have any partnership from outside Nigeria that saw that through at that point?
Okay, good. It's good that you are able to notice that this kind of recapitalization that's more than 200-300%, moving from a 2 billion, 5 billion to average of 8 billion to 18 billion actually calls for quite a lot of mergers and acquisition in the process. And this led into quite a lot of foreign organizations coming into Nigeria, bringing in funds into our insurance work sector, and some of them coming even with personnel from abroad to join, to be able to join the management team of most of this organization. You were talking about compliance. This recapitalization has also brought about quite a lot of improvement in area of corporate governance. We've seen quite a lot of insurance companies rejig their board and bringing in quite a lot of independent directors so as to bring about more transparency, bring about more accountability, making sure that the insurance company are properly run, ensuring that claims are settled and paid on time. A whole lot of brand management has also been in place. And in terms of supervisory, regulation, we've seen a more or less involvement of the regulators checking more frequently than waiting on an annual review. Some of them are coming for quarterly review, some are coming for biannual review, and the level of risk assessment has also stepped up quite a lot. And we've seen introduction of technology by the regulator to be able to monitor compliance.